Moving on to other stories now, on the sidelines of the ASEAN-related summits, President Moon Jae-in sat down with U.S. Vice President Mike Pence. Discussions centered around their commitment to pushing ahead on diplomacy with North Korea. Shin Se-min has the latest from Singapore.
In Singapore Thursday, President Moon Jae-in and U.S. Vice President Mike Pence reaffirmed their country's strong alliance of 65 years as they discussed the latest diplomacy related to North Korea. Meeting on the sidelines of the ASEAN Annual Regional Summit, Moon and Pence held their first face-to-face since February and the first since talks were called off last week between the North and the U.S. that would have been about the next summit between Jong-un and U.S. President Donald Trump. President Moon said it was the South Korea-U.S. alliance that brought North Korea into dialogue in the first place and made the progress so far possible. The three countries, he said, should move forward together.
앞으로도 한반도의 완전한 비핵화와 항구적인 평화를 하기 위해서 남북 관계와 또 북미 관계가 함께 이렇게 발전해 나갈 수 있도록 한미 양국 간의 긴밀한 협력과 공부가 있기를 바랍니다.
To that, Pence said he looks forward to the next meeting between North Korea's Jong-un and President Trump, and that Trump believes a second summit will lay a strong foundation for the joint objective of the region's long-term denuclearization.
But much work remains, and I look forward to discussing with you the plans for another summit between the President and Chairman Kim, and how we can work even more closely together in the days ahead to ensure peace and security come at last to the Korean Peninsula.
He added the U.S. will continue to work toward the ultimate objective of complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization while maintaining a consistent stance on the regime's nuclear weapons. And Pence reportedly asked President Moon to keep dialogue going between the two Koreas, something he's an expert on. What wasn't on the table, though, was discussions on perhaps lifting the sanctions on North Korea to speed up its denuclearization process, something President Moon was aiming for during his meetings with European leaders last month. Still, Moon-Pence summit here in Singapore reaffirmed that the allies are on the same trajectory when it comes to making nuclear-free Korean Peninsula. Shin Se-min, Arirang News, Singapore.